Welcome back to another episode of the Podgods. My name is Jake Lottrell. I do video, audio, social media stuff.
Yeah, you do.
Stuff.
And you got another new hat.
No, old hat.
He put his phone away
Purposely not to get distracted.
You're good.
to not get distracted,
Yeah, don't worry about
and
it.
he got distracted.
It's not live, so who gives a shit?
My name is Brady Holland. I sell houses with the Tyler Miller team and eXp Realty. What's up? And today we have Dylan Shaw, sales manager of the TK Homes team and a badass motherfucking real estate agent.
Making me feel good. Thanks, boys.
I'm gonna be annoying. I'm gonna push this just a tiny bit closer.
You got it.
Dude, that was at
Can I
least
kiss it?
Yeah.
Can I kiss it
3
once?
inches. That was a lot.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I'm just getting used to it, you know?
So yeah, just origins. Should we start with an origin story? Where were you born? Siblings?
Yeah,
what
let's
your
do
parents
it.
do?
Yeah. So I was born in southern Minnesota. And my parents were...
Ooh.
I know.
Easy.
My parents were never together. So I have this weird situation where... Two Christmases all the time, right? Which is great. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and they were both born within like 3 months of each other on each side, which was kind of crazy. So like both of my brothers were the same age, both of my sisters were the same age.
Weird.
Like
It's
good
kind of
friends.
crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't say good friends, but they were communicative at least.
Got
right?
it. Did they go to the same school?
No, completely different towns.
got it.
Like separated by like an hour.
Okay, got it.
So it was just kind of a weird coincidence that way.
Were you just like the oddball out then?
Oh yeah, that's my whole life. Yeah, that explains a lot now, doesn't it? Yeah. So yeah, I'm the only one. I was both. I had half siblings on both sides. No, I have no full siblings. So
Are you pretty close with all of them though?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, super
that's
close.
cool.
I see them. I at least talk to them a couple times a week for sure.
Good.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
That's more than I talk with my brothers.
Oh yeah,
I'll be honest.
yeah.
But I did talk to Garrett yesterday for like the first time in a month, so that was cool.
Well,
Good
heck,
for you,
why
buddy.
a month?
Dude, he doesn't like me, first of all, and like we just don't have anything in common.
Oh,
Like if I go to my parents' house where he lives, and I'll be like, "Hey, Garrett, it's a," and that's it.
why doesn't he like you?
I
Let's
just
get into it.
no.
We're
This is
getting deep
deep.
already.
all
No,
right.
let's go. I love that.
Therapy session.
Yeah, origin story. So I graduated from a high school, Blooming Prairie High School, home of the Awesome Blossoms. So we're gonna rep that one out real quick. Which was awesome, by the way, to have a mascot as a blossom.
That
Very-
might be worse than being
Very
from
tough.
Edina. Like,
Yeah,
Hornets.
yeah, it
No,
was.
you're still a kid,
It was a
dude.
good time. I mean, we always get to say you got beat by a flower, which was awesome. Our football team was pretty good, but
Did you play football?
I did play football and baseball in high school
Nice.
Yeah.
Which one was?
until 10th grade. I
Which
didn't
one
play
did you
other
like
football.
more?
Football for sure.
Football. Yeah.
And then I actually got a job working when I was in 10th grade, so I started selling car parts.
What?
Yeah, Napa.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I did like at that place I was doing like over the road sales too at 16, which was kind of weird.
What does
so,
that
like,
mean?
So like I was a parts counter guy. I just worked like after school and weekends basically. And then in the summertime I would go and like make relationships with like all the auto shops in like different towns and try to like grow the business. And I got paid 0 commission for that. So that was
Oh.
super
Yuck.
cool. Yeah.
You
But
were-
it was
You were 16.
yeah, I was just in
Okay.
high school, right? So I didn't know any better. I was making
Yeah.
minimum wage, just kind of doing my thing, right? I was in a small town. I mean, our town was, I think at the time was 18 or 1900 people.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, our graduating class, I think was 65 people. So
Wow.
yeah, it
That's
was
awesome.
Love it, or
Blossoms.
did you hate that?
Both.
Just all you knew.
Yeah, both. I
Yeah.
think, the pro to that is that you build a ton of relationships and know a ton of people really well. The downside was resources, right? Like I didn't have cool high school classes. I didn't really feel like we didn't have auto shop and we didn't have those kinds of things. We didn't have, we had Spanish. That was the only language you could choose. So bigger high schools I felt like had more resources available for that, but that makes a ton of sense too. So
Did you guys have like a McDonald's at least?
nope, we had, let's see,
kinda awesome.
Brutal.
we had Dairy Queen, like an old school Dairy Queen, which was kind
Subway?
of we had Subway for a while.
Everybody has
Yeah.
fucking Subway.
Subway's
dude.
that's the small town market.
Yeah.
And then we had Budget Mart, which had hot stuff pizza, which was dope. And then they got bought out by Casey's, so then we had Casey's in town.
Nice.
Casey's isn't too bad though.
Yeah.
They
And
got
then
good
we had
pizza.
a pizza. It was called the Pizza Cellar, which was basically like a bar and a pizza joint, which was cool. And then we had like a serviceman's club, VFW kind of a place. That was about it.
What was like the main industry in your town?
Oh, dude,
Farming?
farming.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, for
What
sure.
kind of question? That was
Yeah.
a pretty easy
Yeah,
answer,
farming
man.
for sure.
Yeah.
We did have some, and dude, this is as bad. This is how bad it is. We had a plant in town. I have no idea what they did.
Oh,
It was something to do with chemicals, and like, I have no idea.
yeah.
So
Drinking water's green and
all my people from my high school right now are like, "You dumbass! Like,
You don't
even
know
know
that?
yeah.
That was a meth lab.
Yeah, yeah. It was Breaking Bad.
Big
You know.
front. I don't know if you mentioned it. What did your parents do?
Yeah. So my mom was a bartender for a long time. Now she works for the county.
Okay.
And then my dad, I call both my parents mom and dad because they've been in my life forever. So that's
Yeah.
getting a little confusing. But on my mom's side, my mom works for the county now. And my dad has been in agriculture and truck driving almost his whole life. And then recently, now he works for the state doing like bridge repairing and like
Okay.
inspections and stuff.
Nice.
So that's kind of a cool. I don't know what he does, but you know.
Dude,
Sounds important, though.
why is there so many bridges being like
Ooh, getting into it
reconstructed
already.
right now?
I have no
like
idea.
the one in Monticello over the Mississippi.
Oh yeah.
There's been 3 bridges by my house that close off like major back roads.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, did some law change?
Well, and
or
then you
some,
get like the 494 bridges, like crossovers are terrible right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, even Highway 10, like coming up, like I was backed up all the way to Kelly Farm last night coming
Yeah.
from Blaine. I was like, this never happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's fuck.
Dude, it's terrible.
yeah.
Traffic's so bad right now.
Yeah.
And then 169 is
Oh, dude, I don't even want
brutal.
So bad. I have to take 169 all the way up to Champlin, and it is.
Oh, it gets worse
horrible.
going past Champlin.
Oh, really? Oh, I
Like,
suppose
dude, if
going
you get
into
to Elk
Anoka?
River,
Yeah.
if you get to Elk River, 169, like it'll take you 25 minutes to get from the south end of Elk River to the north end. It's terrible.
Yeah. That reminds me of when we were in LA. We had to go like 3 miles,
Oh my
and it
God.
was like a 35-minute drive.
Yeah.
It was
brutal.
nuts.
I mean, we were in Beverly Hills and we were driving at like 9 p.m. So
yeah, but
I can't
couldn't
remember.
believe
Somebody
it.
told me they were in New York and they had to go like a mile and a half, and it took them like 52 minutes. Or something
Oh,
like that.
dude, I couldn't do it.
No, I
may
just,
as well
dude, I would
get
just
a-
walk.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say,
Right,
may
like-
as well walk. All right. So how old are you?
20, no, not 20. I just turned 30. 30
Wow.
in April. Yep.
wow.
Made it over the hump.
Yeah.
My back hurt immediately the next morning.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
That was
Dude,
fun.
I
Dude,
hear
you
ya.
are young. I didn't even know how young you were.
Coming from like a 22-year-old.
Well, I
You got
don't
a
know.
lot of
Are you
nerve, buddy.
22?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't guess that
Nice.
right.
I honestly, like, we hang out a fair amount.
Yeah.
I would have guessed you're 34, 35.
Everybody says that, and
Very
it makes
good,
me
though.
feel terrible.
Just
No,
a little. I
mature.
thought you were just a little younger than Tyler, to be honest. Tyler,
Oh, yeah. No, I think
how old is TK?
32, 31, 32.
That's crazy too.
Huh, I
you guys
would've
are
thought
so ahead. I feel like
TK
that.
would have been like 38.
No, he's younger than Tyler.
Tyler's old.
Tyler's
How
old.
old's Tyler?
37.
Is he really 37? I
Yeah.
thought he was 35.
That's what I'm saying. He's old.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's young at heart, you know? He's like 19.
Yeah.
TK
He acts
and
he acts
Tyler
more
have
like
crazy energy.
Max than
I feel like sometimes Tyler doesn't get out of like the Blink 182 era, you know?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
I love that. I love
got
that
the
energy
whole
though.
starter
Yeah,
kit.
see, you're right there. Yeah.
Rode my skateboard here.
Yeah, where's the DCs? Come on, what are we doing?
My Osiris shoes.
Did you have those?
No, I never
Don't
got
lie.
DC or Osiris. I was always like Vans. I went through a Doc Martens phase.
Oh yeah.
Also.
You had to have a doc face for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
What else are you gonna wear to like prom, you know?
True. You're not wrong.
So after graduation, where'd you go?
Oh,
you go to college?
Then those I call it my partying years. So I went to Mankato for a year.
Checks out.
Yep. And then I got put on academic suspension.
Yes.
Also checks out.
Yeah, it makes sense, right?
Can you elaborate?
Yeah. So I graduated high school with like a 3.9 GPA.
Oh, that's good.
I was naturally, and I'm not trying to boast my ego by any means, but like naturally, I didn't have to study for things. I didn't have to really work hard for it.
Must be nice.
So I got to college, right? Used to not reading, not studying, not doing anything, right? And I get through the first semester and I'm like, I got like 3 C's and 2 D's. Like, what
Oh.
just happened, right? So then I'm like, okay. So then I get into my second semester and I partied way more than I should have. And like there was literally one class, you guys. I went the first day of the semester. It was mass media. So it was like talking about like newspapers and stuff. And the first day of class, he's like, you're going to be graded on 4 things. There are 4 tests. These are the days that the tests are.
Oh.
Those are your grades.
No
so
pressure.
make sure you like know these tests and are prepared, right? So what I heard him say was, I only have to show up 4 times this semester, right? And I was so pissed. I needed a B plus to like make sure I wasn't in suspension. I got a B minus.
Oh,
Dude, I was so pissed. I'm like, I was so close.
Yeah.
So then I ended up, let's see, from there, I ended up signing a contract.
Hold on. What does that mean, that like academic suspension?
So it means you couldn't go back for a year.
Oh, man.
Or no, sorry, suspension. No, I apologize. So suspension, what that meant was I had to increase my GPA before, or else I wouldn't be allowed to come back. So I took a summer class, right? So I talked to the counselor. I'm like, what do I need to do? Talk to the counselor. She gets me a summer class. I take the class. I get a B plus, right? I'm like, oh, that's solid, right? I go back to my counselor and she's like, your grade average didn't go up enough because you didn't take 2 classes. I'm like, you told me to take 1 class. And she's like, yeah, I messed up. I'm like, okay. She's like, so you can't come back to any state schools for a year. So I got put on probation, yeah. So I got put on academic probation, so I couldn't go to any state-sponsored colleges for a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I was like, well, what am I going to do now, right? So I tried a couple sales jobs. I ended up joining the Army.
what?
Yeah, prematurely. So let me finish before that goes too far.
Thank you for your service.
No, please don't do that. So I signed a contract, and my ship out date was like 2 months away. Like, it was a really long time. And so I was just like, I worked at Jimmy John's at the time, and I was just working out with the Army every day. Like, that's what I was doing. And it was like a week and a half, like 10 days before I was supposed to ship out. And I was like doing squats with these guys at the gym, and suddenly my back just went out, full out, like dropped to the floor. And obviously it's in front of the recruiters. And so they were like, there's no way we can let you go. Like, we saw that happen. We have to report that. So they ended up just canceling my contract. But, dude, I had been under contract for like 4 months. So like, that was my whole plan. I sold my car. I sold everything, right?
Jeez.
And so I'm like, well, time to restart. So then I got into selling cars. I sold Kias for, say, 2 months maybe.
Opinion on the new logo?
I like the new logo compared to the old one.
Yeah, I don't like either of them.
I miss the hamsters,
I thought it was, though. It's like,
the hamsters were the shit.
Oh, yeah, the soul.
In the soul.
Yeah.
The hamsters were the shit.
The Stinger. The Kia Stinger.
The Kia Stinger is sick.
Kind of sick.
There's like a K600 or something. That was like their luxury car.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah.
That was a cool car.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
No, don't apologize at all. So I did that for like 2 months. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I literally worked 6 days a week, like 15-hour days. Because that's what they told you to do. They're like, you need to build a book of business. You got to sell cars. You're here all the time. I think I sold a few, maybe 3, to be honest. It wasn't very much.
Was your back still hurting? Like, do you still have problems with your back from that incident?
Yeah, so I was in a car accident when I was in high school, selling for Napa, right? So I was in there. He just got this truck, dude. I felt so bad. He put like $5,000 into this transmission and like got it all rebuilt and everything. It was like this like 2000 Ford Ranger, right?
Love those.
And so I'm going to the Napa warehouse to pick up some parts to deliver. And I take a left and I get there was like this car hidden behind like a semi-trailer almost. And she was going like 60 and a 30. And she just T-boned me right in the middle. And the truck flips. I land nose first into this drainage ditch. Like, I walked away from it fine. Like, everybody was fine. Nobody was hurt.
Still.
It was crazy, right?
What?
Dude, I stepped out of this car. Like, I literally kind of blacked out and I came to and I'm into the steering wheel facing the ground. Like, that's a weird feeling, dude. So then you open the door and I kind of tumbled out into this drainage ditch. So now I'm soaking wet. And I get out, the cops come. I was on the clock, so I had to go to the hospital and get checked out, right? Everything was fine. And then like 3 months later, I literally I think I was in the shower. Like, I was in the shower, I was like drying off, and suddenly like my back just kind of like, it didn't snap, like no bones broke, but like I felt like I couldn't do anything. Like, I got paralyzed, right? And so like for 4 or 5 days I was bedridden, and then ever since then it randomly just goes out. Like, so it's
inflation
hard.
Or something.
Yeah. I don't know what the damage was.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean it happens every once in a while where, I wake up in the morning and it hurts really bad and you just get over it.
How do you feel today?
Great. Well,
Good.
I feel 30, so
Yeah. Good enough.
Jake
Yeah,
knows
right.
how that
Yeah.
feels.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
dude,
Tying
it's
my
so
shoes
true.
in the
It
morning
happens. It happens so quickly too.
Yeah.
Like the closer you get to 30, the more you're like, oh, my knee kind of hurts. Today.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
Dude, I am sore from playing volleyball yesterday.
Dude,
So,
I don't even want
like,
to hear it.
I am, dude. I hurt. Like, it kept me up at night.
Dude,
Yeah.
putting socks on. I think we talked about this with Tyler Miller when you had him on.
Yeah, Tyler took his socks off and put them back on to show us how he does it.
Yeah, I wanted.
He used two hands.
It's tough putting shoes like in the morning, like leaning over. I'm like, oh,
Dude, especially when you have this belly, like you can't. That's a lot of stretching that gets involved in there. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you about the your back. Army.
Oh yeah. So
2 years selling. Yep.
Yeah.
So I was selling cars.
Yeah.
It wasn't 2 years. It was like 2 months. Like it was a very short term.
Oh, and you sold like 3 cars.
Two or
months.
3 cars. Yeah. It was nothing. And then I decided, you know what? So my original dream, what I was going to Mankato State for, was to law enforcement. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to explore that. You know, the Army thing didn't work out. Let's get into that. I went to a community college for 6 months. Went really, really well. And then I ended up moving to Winona. So I went to college in Winona. And I was doing really good. Like I was just kind of chilling, partying, doing my thing, right? And I was in law enforcement program, and there was this class, and it was the dumbest thing ever, dude. So there was 3 tests. That was my whole grade. So 3 tests,
not again.
right? But I went to class this time.
Okay.
I went to class, and the time for the first test comes. And I'm up at my dad's house, who is at the time living in Albertville. And the test was Monday morning, and it was like super late on Sunday. It was like 5 p.m. when I was starting to head back to Winona. And I was driving this minivan that I had at the time, dude. It was the best thing ever. And I bought this minivan for $100.
Caravan, Dodge Caravan.
It was a 99 Dodge Grand Caravan.
Okay, yes.
Dude, it was perfect.
Yes,
right?
I've had one.
So I'm driving down to Winona, and I literally get like 2 miles onto 94, and the transmission explodes.
Oh.
Like, just done. Not going anywhere, right? And it's Sunday night at like 5:30. I'm like, nothing is going to happen, right? So I sent an email, and I left a voicemail for the instructor, and I'm like, hey, I literally cannot get to class tomorrow. I know that we have the test. Like, I have to remake this. Like, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
Was there Uber at the time? How long ago? Or was it just like
I don't think so.
Are you Ubering 200 miles
hell of
though?
an Uber.
Yeah. Oh, I guess true. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been. I mean, it was a 3.5 hour car ride.
Yeah.
So like,
I didn't even think about that.
maybe it's 2.5. But either way, so I email this, and I just go to sleep. I'm like, she's gonna understand, right? Like, I can prove to her my car's on a tow truck, right? And I get an email from her at like 7:30 in the morning saying, you signed this at the beginning of the semester, saying that there's no redo policies, so you're going to take a 0 on this. So the best that I could do was a 66% because it was 3 tests, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's a fail.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do? So I went to the counselor, and they were like, that's her policy. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm like,
fuck that.
and at this point,
Yeah, seriously.
at this point, I was still on probation, right? So like, I had to have my GPA at a certain point to stay on track, and that would have put me below. So I'm like, well, so I had to drop out. Otherwise, my GPA would have been screwed. And then at that point, I'm like, college just probably isn't for me. Like,
You tried. You gave it,
You
your best
gave it a good effort.
Yeah. Yeah, so then I was in Winona, and I ended up moving up to St. Cloud. I ended up living with my dad for a while in Albertville, and got a job up in St. Cloud selling fasteners.
Okay.
Yeah, nuts, bolts, screws,
Oh,
those
got
kinds
it,
of things.
okay.
So really tiny stuff.
Depends who you ask.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's average. Is it average? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then ended up going back to school because I, wanted to get into business-to-business sales, and the company I was working for at the time said I needed a sales degree to do that. And so I was like, cool. Went to the community college up in St. Cloud. Got my sales degree in like a year because I had enough credits from all my other stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then did that, and then got into the heavy duty trucking business after that. So then I was selling truck parts over the counter, moved to the service side of things, ended up working for corporate there, and was a fleet account manager. So I took care of like our top 30 accounts and just kind of made sure they were happy and stuff like that. Then I had Leo, so I moved back to like the service manager role in Rogers, and then real estate. So that's kind of my story.
How'd you meet TK?
So I'm going to set the scene for you.
Oh.
Holly and I have owned our house at this point for a year and a half. We had a house in Big Lake.
Whoop.
Yeah, whoop whoop.
Shout out. What year was this?
2019. We bought it in 2018, so 2019.
Okay.
And TK shows up at my door unannounced. No idea that a realtor.
You didn't know him at the time
at all.
Okay.
Holly called Realtor.com behind my back.
Okay. Love
said,
that.
I'm interested in selling my house. So here's the scene. Saturday morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. I have my shoes on. I'm ready to rock and roll. We're about to leave the door because we're going to Home Depot to price out some flooring. We're going to do some home upgrades, right? And I am about to open the door, and TK walks up. And I'm like, Holly, who's this? And she's like, oh, I forgot to tell you something. And in walks TK. And I'm like, what's up, dude? And he's like, what's going on? He's like,
charming as ever.
Oh, for sure. Just TK, right? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, Holly called me. We had an appointment for 9 o'clock. I'm like, okay, for what? Like, I'm thinking like maybe it's like a home remodeler or something, right? And he goes, like a listing appointment to sell your house? I'm like, oh, yeah, you got the wrong place. Pissed. I was like, you got the wrong place, buddy. Just turn around.
Yeah.
And Holly's like, no, like, come on in. I'm like, so now I'm like, what am I supposed to do, right? So I let TK in, and I'm just kind of down, just giving him daggers. I'm like, get the fuck out of my house, dude. Yeah. Like, we've been here a year. Yeah. Right? Like, can I swear? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's no way. Like, just get out. So he's like, give me a tour. Like, TK fashion, calming everybody down, right? And so the entire time, I'm like, this is the bedroom. I fucking closed the door, right? Like, get out of my house, bro. And so we ended up talking about numbers, and we just kind of got to know each other, and I was a complete dick to him the entire time. And then he told me what he thought we could sell it for. And I'm like, well, hold on. Like, let's talk about it, right? And he's like, well, dude, just give me a shot. Like, if we sell it, we sell it. If we don't, we don't. Like,
can I ask what you bought it for?
$223.
And then what did he say that he?
I think we listed it at like $275.
Okay.
In like a year and a half.
Okay.
So like that was a crazy difference. I was like $50,000. Like,
I should buy a house every year.
Right. Yeah. Now it turns out I shouldn't have maybe sold that house, but we'll get to that story. So we ended up listing it. I think we ended up selling it for, I think we made like $45,000. Okay. Like it was a good investment. We sold it literally. We closed 3 days after our 2-year anniversary. So we owned the house 2 years. TK ended up helping us find our next house then, which was a townhome in Otsego. And in order to buy that house and I think we put 5% down, TK had to waive his commission on our listing in order to help us buy it, right? So I was like, well, that was super cool of you. Like, you didn't have to do that. I was a douchebag to you. Like, thank you, right? Yeah. And then fast forward like 3 months. I was in the garage with him.
So were you guys friends at this point, or were you kind of?
Yeah, sorry, let me back up. So he called me out of the blue, and he's like, "Hey, Chelsea's gone this weekend. Do you and Holly want to come over and have some beers and throw some brats on the grill or something?" And I'm like, "Why would my realtor just do that? Like, that's weird. Like,
what do you want?"
Right. So I was like, "Sure." Right. Like, so we show up, and we met Deacon, right? Deacon was hanging out. And at the time, Deacon went to bed at like 6:15, 6:30, which I thought was incredible. Because we had Leo, and Leo wouldn't go to bed till like 9 o'clock. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
Brutal. When's Felix go to bed?
7:30 always, and he loves sleeping. 2-hour naps during the day. The kid is right now perfect.
I'm so jealous.
For now.
I'm so jealous.
Dude, his kid is literally the best.
Dude,
right now.
My kids haven't slept in 5 years, I don't think.
I think Felix is Snickers. That's how I picture
Felix.
How it is? Yeah. Anyway, he's got it.
The camera cuts off after 30 minutes because I'm an idiot that didn't buy the other.
Anyway,
it doesn't matter. It's fine. Yeah.
I'm trying to wipe the sweat off my brow anyway. So we get there, and Deacon's just gonna run around. He's like, "Let me go put Deacon to bed quick." I'm like, it's like 6 o'clock, whatever. Cool. Do your thing.
Haven't even had dinner yet.
Right. So then we come down, we're hanging out. He's got brats on the grill and just hanging. And he's like, "You want a beer?" I'm like, "Sure." So he brings us some summer shandies. I remember this very specifically. And so we each had 2 beers, right? And he was like, "You want another one?" I'm like, "Sure." So he goes out in the garage and he brings in a case of Summer Shandy that is like 98 degrees. Oh. And he pulls it out of the box and he hands it to me. I'm like,
"Did you put this in the microwave?"
I was like, "Dude, like what?" And he's like, "Yeah, I forgot to put it in the fridge. Sorry." We drank the entire case.
Oh, that's cool.
Like 100-degree beer.
Yeah.
It was so bad. But like we just connected. Like we started talking about work, and he's like, I'm thinking about starting my own team. Here's my story, and I think you might be a really, really good fit. And at the time, I was like, no, like I have a kid. There's no way I can I can't do a commission job. Like no way. And he was very persistent. So then we just kind of kept connecting. And eventually he convinced me, he's like, well, dude, just get your license. Worst case scenario, send me your friends and family. I'll give you a referral. I'm like, well, I can do that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Got my license, ended up working part-time for him for 5 months. I was the first agent on his team. And I got licensed in May. So between May and November, I sold 4 houses. And I'm like,
sweet.
I was probably working 10 hours a week.
Sweet.
Right? So I'm like,
were they people you knew, like in your sphere? Or was
3 of them were sphere deals.
Okay.
Okay. 2 of them were sphere deals. One, and then 2 of it was a buy and sell from Zillow.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it was good. And I was like, well, this is a decent amount of money actually, right? And I'm working 10 hours a week. Like, yeah, that's not terrible.
What if you put in more hours?
Right.
Yeah.
So at the time, this is like November. It's right before Thanksgiving, and TK calls me and he's like, "Hey, I've got a deal for you. I'll give you this, and I'll leave the number out of it. Yeah. But it basically was like, I'm not going to take a split on this deal. If you quit your job today, like you have to call your boss, you have to put your notice in today, and if you do, I'll give you a full split on that deal." And I'm like, absolutely not happening, right? So then he's like, okay, no problem. He hangs up, and this guy calls Holly, my wife Holly, He's like, Holly, here, I want you to know what just happened. I called Dylan. I offered him this if he quit his job today. And he said no. And she's like, hold on. She hangs up on him. She calls me. She goes, if you don't put your notice in today, I'm calling your boss and I'm putting the notice in for you. And I'm like, did TK call you? She's like, absolutely he did, and you're taking it.
I will say, though, that's so fucking cool that your wife believed in you that much.
Oh, for sure.
Like, let's fucking do this. I got your back.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
Whatever happens. We're a team.
It was so cool. Yeah. Like, she's been so supportive through this whole thing.
TK's such a salesman.
Dude,
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah,
dude,
that is so
absolutely.
bold.
That's his whole thing, right?
So bold.
Well, I mean, he's so genuine, too. Like, that's the difference between him and a salesman, I feel, right? Like, a lot of times you meet salesmen, they're just behind the paycheck, but like TK really means the shit he says, which is incredible. Like, it's a rare feature.
He's got the gift of gab.
For sure.
Like 100%. Him and Tyler, but TK, it's like he could be trying to sell you anything, and you're just like, yes. Like, you just get hyped up as he's like...
Dude, he could convince me to suck his dick.
Like, for sure. Yeah. Dude, it's going to be legendary. Like, let's do it. Yeah. No,
so funny.
Yeah, so then I quit. My first full-time day was December 1st, 2021. Yeah, 2021.
And you're crushing.
I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay.
This is right when the rates were like...
Oh, the rates were great. So like, dude, when I quit my job, I went full-time. It was December 2021. The rates were like 2.5.
Yeah.
2.7, right? So I had that for 3 months. It was because December, I didn't really do anything in December. Like December, Christmas, I was like setting up my software and like getting organized and all this, right? So I really say that my first day was January 1st of 2022. April like 10th, rates went to like 5.5. It was like a 2.5 point jump in like a 30-day period. And I'm like,
freaking out.
Well, thanks for making me quit my job.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing, right? Turns out it didn't really matter. I ended up selling with TK. I ended up selling about 39 houses my first year.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. It was good.
Yes.
It was good.
Damn.
Yeah. So it was good.
This guy sells houses. I told you.
Well, I try. I do my best. We'll see what happens this year.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
You're gonna beat that this year, though.
I'm close. Yeah, I've been close. So like my second year, I sold 38. I kind of hover around that number. This year,
not a bad number to hover around.
No. I'm at 25 right now, so if I can get you know, I'm close to the number. I'm close to my goal. Is I want to break 40 so bad. Like I want to do 40.
I want to be at 30 so bad this year, and I'm only at 16.
You're close. I mean, we got
You'll be
you're in July, right?
Yeah.
So you're a little bit behind,
Halfway
but you got to
through.
step it up.
Yeah.
You'll be there.
Quit being so lazy, Brady.
Yeah, do more.
I do
Yeah.
need, dude, I've been slacking, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, that's okay. Me too.
I've been just with the 4th of July, then I had a big golf tournament, and then
Dude, I've been so lucky this year. My average price point is gone up like crazy. So like I want to say I'm at like 12.5 million already this year, which is crazy. So I've been super fortunate that way.
so
That's such a
glad you
cool
quit the
story.
job then, huh?
Best decision I've ever made.
What a
Feel that.
blessing that you hurt your back too.
Right? Yeah.
You could be
No,
like
Army.
overseas right now. Like,
Yeah. I would have never met Holly probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you meet Holly?
Yeah, how'd
Like,
you
where
guys
was
meet?
that in the time?
In St. Cloud. So at St. Cloud Tech,
Oh.
I met her in my first semester, but she was done that semester. So I had one more semester after, right? So I literally texted her on the last day of the semester. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, I'd love to grab a beer with you or something.
I
right?
love you.
And she
love
was,
it.
dude,
led with that.
she wasn't even 21 yet. So I was like, hey, let's go grab a beer. And she's like, I can't. I'm like,
Lucky
oh,
for you.
great.
Is she?
So-
How old is she?
She just turned 28.
Okay.
Yeah, she's 2 years behind me.
You're a fucking cougar.
Yeah. Cougar, 2 years. Yeah.
Maddie's a cougar, and it's only like 8 months.
Dude,
so.
Jean's a cougar. She's 4 years older than me. Which, think about back then when you were in high school. Could you imagine, like, you're 15 dating a
19-year-old.
19-year-old?
You'd be a
Dude,
badass.
in my freshman year, I was
Fuck
dating a
yeah,
senior.
dude.
Right?
Yeah. No, I
Say it
dated
again?
I dated a senior in my freshman year.
What?
Yeah.
She hot?
For like 4 months. Oh, for sure. Bro.
Damn.
Yeah, well,
Plus
I'm-
being older. That
Just so
there's
you
a-
know, I would never tell you otherwise, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was a walrus.
no matter what, she's always a 12,
Yeah.
right?
You wouldn't
Yeah.
know her. She was in a town
Yeah,
over.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, she was invisible, but it doesn't matter. Yeah.
She showed me.
She didn't
her
know we
tits.
were dating, but
No, 100%. Yeah, no, I just, we held hands
Yeah,
sometimes. Never. But
Possibly.
that's such a cool story, dude.
oh yeah, so
I've heard your name come up so like I've talked to a bunch of your name always comes up in like how good
Conversation,
you are.
yeah.
Yeah.
oh, it makes
I
me
always
feel
hear
good,
your
man.
name.
Yeah, it makes me
So
feel good.
that's so
You are
cool.
good, man. He kills the phones too. That's the
Yeah?
thing. Like you're just.
That's how I built my business. That's how I've done everything.
Can we
though,
do a
like-
mock phone call?
Oh my gosh.
Would that be too?
Hold on, you gotta let me wake
No,
up.
all
a
right,
little
we'll
bit.
come back to it. But I had a pet peeve of the week that.
Pet peeve of the week.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a new. I was thinking about it. So there's this. I was listening to a comedy podcast. Do you listen to podcasts, Dylan?
The pod gods.
Besides the podcast.
Besides the podcast,
Yeah,
I used to listen to a ton of them when I was on the road. Now
I'm sure. Yeah.
I've done more like audiobooks lately.
Oh,
but
nice.
yeah, which one are you talking about?
I think it was Theo Vaughn or maybe Joe Rogan, one of the two. But
I love Joe Rogan's podcast.
yeah,
It's so
great.
good. Yeah.
There was one though. I can't remember which one it was, but he had a comedian on, and he was doing impressions. And I think impressions can be really good and tasteful and whatever. But my pet peeve is when people do impressions, and initially it's like you get a laugh, but then they keep going with it until the point where like, dude, just stop. The impressions they'll go on for like 5 minutes until
Right.
the joke is completely worn out,
Yeah.
and they just don't get the hint that it's not funny
That's-
anymore.
Your pet
That's
peeve.
dude. I don't know what it is. It's like, or just when people keep going with a joke and it's like it's dead. Like
Have you guys
Let it
heard of
go.
this? Like kill
Tony.
Yes.
Yes.
I was gonna say I'm gonna sound stupid, but
No.
the only reason I've heard of this is TikTok. So I just saw a TikTok like yesterday morning of Shane Gillis on Kill Tony.
And Adam Ray.
Yes.
Joe Biden. Trump.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
It was super funny. But this TikTok was literally just Shane Gillis doing a Trump impression for like 4.5 minutes. And it was hilarious. But I'm like halfway through, I'm like, he's got to be close to being done.
No,
right? Like,
yeah,
no, it
right.
just
That-
keeps going.
Ironically, that was the whole episode. It was like 2 hours. The
Oh,
podcast.
was it really?
So like they played the character, but it actually was pretty funny because Shane's a great comedian.
His Trump impression is
Oh,
so good too.
So good.
Yeah, so good.
Speaking of Trump, I mean,
Yeah.
All right, not to get political.
Were you pointing
Buddy
at the
just
ear
got
there?
shot.
Yeah.
Like-
Scratching his ear.
Scratching his ear like, yeah, this is missing here.
Perfect segue.
Nice segue.
Yeah, crazy. I mean,
no left, right, anything here.
Nothing,
That's
no-
wild.
crazy.
Dude,
How-
anytime you get an assassination attempt on anybody, like,
Yeah.
whether politician or
Yeah.
celebrity of any
Yeah.
kind, right? Like it's crazy.
It's crazy because
It's crazy because the
They-
shot should have never been shot.
they
That's the
saw
thing.
the guy climbing up the thing
That's what I was
and
gonna
crawling
say.
on the roof for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's
And everybody
what I
was
heard.
pointing. There's a guy on the roof, and the cops were like, "Huh, what?" And like, there's Secret Service on roofs with snipers.
So
I mean-
did you see the interview? This is what I was going to bring up. Did you see the interview?
Which interview?
And I don't.
With the guy with the hat.
The
with
guy that actually, the guy that shot the shooter.
Oh my
No.
gosh, the guy that got fired?
Yes.
Wait,
oh
what?
my god.
So the
dude.
guy that shot the shooter was told. So he brought up the shooter like 4 minutes prior to Trump getting shot.
Yeah.
And he's like, "There's a shooter on the roof. Can I engage?" And they're like, "No." So they just said no a ton. They're like, he's like, "I can see him loading a bullet right
Yeah.
now. Can I engage?" They're like, "No." So then the shot goes off, right? And he's like, "Can I engage?" He said no. They said after the shot went off, he was told to not engage. He fired anyway. He's like, "You know what? I'm done with this."
He unalived him anyway.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
And then
Instantly got arrested.
he instantly got arrested. He wouldn't let them talk to like family, nobody. And
he
then
was
they,
in the Secret Service.
Yes.
yeah, and then he got fired within 2 hours of that incident.
Yeah.
That I don't want to say that changes everything, but I thought it was peculiar how everybody in the crowd around was pointing.
Yeah.
That is, and that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't verify it.
Right,
But, like, I saw it on like 4 different websites. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
okay.
That's probably verified.
Probably, yeah.
Like,
wow.
I
But-
mean, you can see him. He's, how does he get a ladder in and an AR,
He put the
though?
ladder in before.
Well, it
the
wasn't like
thing,
he was
but-
way far away. Like he was relatively close.
Yes.
Like I don't know, man.
and I guess he carried the rifle like a mile and a half or 2 miles to the event. I don't know.
dude, I don't know.
Crazy.
It is. It's.
yeah.
I mean, it changes the world.
That blows my mind.
Well, and here's the other thing too is like it probably makes his run stronger.
Oh,
right?
100%.
It's a bold
Like-
play from the Democrats. Like,
Elon Musk came out and was like,
Well, this is the skeptic side of me. Like,
Yeah.
think about it on the other side. Like, what if Trump just hired him to shoot him in the ear and was like, "Hey, let's
That'd
just
be a
boost,
crazy
let's
shot.
just boost some numbers," you know?
yeah.
I'm
That's
just
a-
saying.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
know.
skeptic.
That'd be
Yeah.
such a good shot, though.
That would
And
be
like,
good.
Well,
for
maybe
him-
it's just like a BB gun.
And he
Who
had to,
knows?
like-
You know, like
yeah.
turn.
yeah,
It's
maybe
just-
yeah, I don't know.
The
I don't really believe that, but I'm like,
No.
that would be
in
crazy.
the back of your head though, you kind of are like, hey, what are the
Genius
chances?
move.
What are the chances he gets shot in the ear, dude? Like,
Yeah.
you have the whole body and you wing his ear tip. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty.
A
cool
bunch of
too.
people they made like compilations with the 50 Cent "Many Men" song.
Oh yeah,
With like, and then also like Elon Musk came out and endorsed it. It's been crazy.
it's been
The
it's been
photo
nuts.
of him,
Oh
blood on his,
Oh.
like,
yeah.
unbelievable.
When I
Dude.
I just hear bald eagle screeching when I
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, and everybody was like,
Did you know
everybody
that
on social
screech is
media
actually
was-
not a bald eagle?
What is it?
It's a hawk.
Really?
Bald eagles don't make that noise.
What do they make?
I just ruined your life. I'm sorry.
No, I kind of
It's
want
like
you
to.
ruined mine for sure.
It's like a little, like a high pitched, like chirp.
Oh, that's less.
Yeah, it's not as cool as you think.
Yeah.
But still, everyone thinks the bald eagle is.
Yeah. Damn.
what if Eagles just made like the Rocky soundtrack come out of their mouth?
I am the Tigers.
The
Wow.
photo, unbelievable.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Will go down in
All-time
history.
photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime, like I said, anytime there's an assassination, it's nuts.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's sad too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like,
So sad.
and
Like,
I forgot who said it, but somebody came out and was like, you know, the fact that, and this is not an original take, but he's like, the fact that our country believes that this is how you could solve a problem, like,
yeah.
is nuts.
Yeah.
Like, men and women fight day in and day out to make sure that you can disagree with other people and that be
Right.
okay.
yeah.
And now you want to take that away because you're selfish. Like,
Yeah.
it's brutal.
Yeah.
It is. It is. I mean,
100%.
if he would have got shot, and this is what people are saying online, they're saying there would have been a civil war.
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm glad we don't have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Nope. This is all above my pay grade for sure.
Yeah.
Way above, dude.
same.
Oh yeah.
Hey, if you want a house, let me know. But
Yeah.
other
No,
than
yeah.
that,
I'll know
fuck
that.
off,
We can
bro.
do
Yeah.
that for sure.
I have another, not a pet peeve, but a dilemma that I'm in. So I'm trying to donate blood, but I go in
Plasma or blood?
no, just blood, whole blood. I'm trying to donate blood, but every time I go in, my pulse is too high, and so now when I go in,
You're anxious.
I get anxious that I'm not going to pass the pulse test. So I'll be fine. And then as soon as they put their hand on to check my pulse, it skyrockets. And I don't know what to do.
So I have my pulse is naturally very, very high.
What's your resting heart rate?
Oh, in the 80s for
80s?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was up to 128.
Oh, yeah. Like mine gets up there too, for sure. Like if I get nervous, it'll be 110, 115. My Apple Watch constantly is like, you need to seek medical attention.
You've been working out for 24 hours.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
But no, I my blood pressure is high too, though. So I think with that comes pulse and heart control.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a solution for you.
I was going to be maybe I just need to take a Xanax before I go donate. But then I'm like, is my
That's
blood
fuck
going to
with your
be...
blood, right?
Are you just trying to donate just to donate? Like just to be a good person?
And I'm supposed to donate on occasion because I make too many red blood cells.
Got it.
So I don't know. You guys, I know you're realtors and not...
This is above my pay
Pharmacist.
I'm
grade.
actually an MD on the side. I'm an MD
Okay,
on the side.
part-time
Yeah.
doctor?
Yeah.
Got it.
I went to school for 2 years, so I'm basically...
Yeah.
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
Here's my advice.
Yeah.
Don't be a bitch. Just calm down.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
Yeah.
It's
I never
great
thought
advice.
about it like that.
Yeah.
Just
Stop
lower
being
your
a
heart
bitch.
rate.
Just
Did you guys ever donate plasma in college?
No.
Oh, dude, I still
I-
I still got the mark right there.
Really?
Oh, look at right there.
It freaks me out.
Oh, and it's not great. It sucks, to be honest. There's some people that can just lay there and when you're donating, you have to pump your hand like this. And so there's people that'll just be laying there pumping, and I'm like, bro, there's a needle this long in your arm.
Oh.
I'd be out.
You'd
I'd
pass out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
I did it for 3-4 years. It was
Fuck
nuts.
that.
How often can you do
I
it?
just did
Twice a week.
Twice a week.
Mhm.
What is plasma? It helps you. What does it do for the? No idea. Yeah.
made you money.
I don't know. Yeah, that was
money.
beer money. That's,
Yeah.
that's all that was. Yeah.
It's just crazy because the only reason I won't do it is I think it's because they take your blood out, they put it in a centrifuge, and it
They
spins.
spin it super fast.
It separates the plasma from the blood, and then they put the blood back in you.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the nice part.
That
Actually,
freaks me. Really?
that's the part that doesn't feel weird.
Oh, okay.
You can't feel it. So
You shooting meth up your fucking forearms is that why you like it?
maybe. Yeah, it's just a rush.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what felt the weirdest was the saline they put at the end. Your
What is-
whole body gets so they have to replace your plasma
Oh,
with something. So they put
interesting.
saline in, right? And your whole body just gets cold.
Oh,
It's kind of cool. I kind of like that feeling actually.
it was if you take a MRI and they're checking your nerves and everything, they'll shoot something in your
Oh
body.
yes.
The
and you're-
dye.
and
The
you just
radiation,
feel it.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking hate that.
I remember it
And
made
then
me
you can't move at all.
it
Oh,
freaks me
This wasn't that bad. So honestly, what I did was I'd either just have Netflix on my phone or something and just lay there. It took 45 minutes.
Damn.
dude, that sucks. Twice a week.
I couldn't do
Yeah,
that.
but dude, I mean, sometimes I was making $800 a month.
That's crazy. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just gonna go sit and do whatever anyway.
Yeah.
But it was beer money in college. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Understood.
I was gonna add this is so generic, but what's your plan for the future? You're still young, generally
question.
speaking.
What a question.
That's a
But,
great question.
All-time question.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah.
5 years. Well, Holly and I just bought the house that I think will be our 20-year home.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You said
Where
that
at?
I'm
about the last
excited about
house.
that. I'm
We'll put
excited.
his address right here.
Yeah, right.
You said that about the last house, didn't you?
No, I never said that about the last house. The last house was a short-term thing. So TK helped us buy this townhouse, right?
Mhm.
And it was great. And then we had our second child, Maverick. And
That's a sick.
I was like, dude, we need a yard. These kids need to run. They need space. There was pavement everywhere around our house. The house was awesome,
Yeah.
but we just needed space, right? And then we put the house on the market, ended up not really finding. We put a couple offers in on some really cool places, and we lost 3 in a row. And at that point in time, our house had finally sold, so we're under contract. So now I have to find something. Found this house in Monticello. It fit what we were looking for. It wasn't perfect, but it was nice enough that we were like, let's just go here, right?
What was it missing? You said it wasn't perfect.
The yard was all downhill. Like literally, like the front yard was flat, and then as soon as you got to the house, it was like a slope all the way down to like a drainage pond. So there was really nowhere for the kids to like run and like throw a ball because everything was just sloped.
Yeah.
The other thing was that it was a 4-level split, so like it was. Excuse me. We entertain quite a bit, and so it was hard to have a whole bunch of people in the house without them being separated. Other than that, like there was nothing wrong with the house. It was a great house, but we just knew it wasn't going to be long term for us.
Got it.
And we, our plan was to live there for 3 or 4 years, and suddenly, in my parents' neighborhood, the house popped up, and I'm like, first off, it was a crazy low price, like compared to the neighborhood. I'm like, what's wrong with it, right? And it was in the perfect location. It was exactly where we wanted to be. And Holly calls me and she's like, I was sick as hell during March Madness. And we party on Friday, March Madness every single year. And it was Thursday night. She was over at my parents' house. She's like, hey, we need to get into this house tomorrow. Let's just go look at it. I'm like, no, not happening. And then my dad called me and was like, absolutely, you're going to go look at that house tomorrow.
Hello, everybody's like, no.
Yeah.
Dylan needs to.
Right. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Dylan, you're quitting your fucking job.
Yeah, right. So, I don't ever get to make decisions myself. So we get into this house the next day, and like immediately, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of cosmetic works that have to happen. Like the trim is all eaten up by their animals. The whole house needs to be painted. Carpet needs to get replaced. Right. So it's been lived in, but the bones are very solid.
Yeah.
It's got a fenced-in yard. It's got a big rainbow place at the backyard. It's got a maintenance-free deck. Like, there's a ton of upgrades that are really nice too.
What else do you need?
Right. And so I'm like, here's the deal. It's the first weekend on the market. Let's just see if it goes into multiple offers because it was at the top of our price range. And I'm like, let's just see if it goes into multiple offers. If it does, we're not going to be competitive. So we'll just let it go. Well, it didn't. They had 2 offers on the table and they weren't great. And so I was like, okay, so on Monday I went to go get pre-approved, got pre-approved Monday night, had our offer in Tuesday. They accepted it Tuesday. So we got it under market value for sure with no prep time at all. It just kind of all worked out. Right. So the last piece of the puzzle that had to fall was us sell our house now. So in the blink of an eye, I'm like, okay, now we're going to get our house on the market. So
you had to sell your house to afford to get this.
Correct.
House.
Yeah. So we had to get that transition done. So to answer your 5-year question, we finally found, I think, what will be our long-term home. And everybody that knows me will laugh at me because we've owned 4 houses in 6 years. So, but 5 years from now, I would say, Maverick is going to be 8. So I imagine our life is honestly going to look a lot like what it does right now. Just a little bit busier.
Any more kids?
We're in the debates of having the third.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going back and forth. I told Holly by the time I turn 31, so which is like 9 months away, we either have already had our third or she'll have to be pregnant with a third. Because at 31, I'm turning it off. By 50, I want to travel. Like I want to make sure that, not that the kids have to be out of the house, but I want to make sure that they can be self-sufficient and because we had kids really, really young. I mean, I think Holly was, I'm not going to remember this. I think she was 21 or 22 when she had Leo. Okay. 22. And so, we didn't really get to have the fun young stage because we had kids and we had careers. And so now I want to be able to say, hey, let's go to Italy for 2 weeks and let's go here. And, that's my
great
goal.
Though. Like I'm 35 and my fiance is 39. I think we can both agree. Like, man, I wish we would have had kids younger. Yeah. I feel like I had fun in my 20s, but I would have loved to be younger and had more energy and kind of what you were saying. By the time I'm 50, be able to I guess I could technically, but be out and traveling.
And not that I don't want to travel with my kids either, but
it sucks.
Well, right now it does. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Right now it's brutal.
For sure.
Airplanes are terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know how families do it. Airplanes are terrible with kids. But I would say, my biggest plan is I want to have, at a minimum, I want to have 10 rental properties to hand my kids. Nice. I want to give them each 5. 5 in theory should be, depending on where the numbers fall, should be, $4,000, $5,000 a month in profit.
Yeah.
And, if you could give your kid that for college, right? Like, hey, you don't have to work. you do have to manage these, but here's your income to be able to go, if you want to go to college or if you want to go to trade school, whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah.
You have at least a little bit of a future to be able to do that. So
That's huge.
yeah, I would say in the next 20 years, that's our goal. We want to have about 10 houses in an investment property.
That's awesome.
portfolio.
Yeah, love that.
That'd be sick.
That's
That'd be
awesome.
good. What about you guys? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Hold on. Save that.
Saving that.
Save it.
Is it 30 minutes already?
I know.
Jesus.
5 years, I'll be.
No. All right, ask that again.
So what about you guys? Where do you guys want to be in 5 years?
You know.
5 years, I will be 27.
Oh my gosh.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
That hurts my heart.
I will be 27. I'll be
35.
married.
Gross.
I probably will have at least one kid. And at least 2 other houses, I hope. At least that's the goal.
Every 2 years, buddy.
Solid 5 years.
Yeah.
Every 2 years, just house hop.
And just continue to grow my business and my downline and my passive income. And yeah.
Easy. We're trying for another kid right now.
Oh,
But
congratulations,
if
man.
it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We've been trying for a while.
He's coming inside.
Yeah.
And I'm busting. Yeah, so
hope
but
that
probably
makes it in.
just I don't know, just keep doing what I'm doing. I
Grow
feel like
your
I'm like at a
business?
slow trajectory. I don't want to do
Well,
anything.
obviously the pod gods are going to take over
Well,
our lives in
obviously
5
that.
years.
Yeah,
So,
you're gonna be in like Nashville or some shit by then. I'm sure.
Yeah, of course.
Nashville.
Yeah, so
Dude, pod gods in Nashville would be sick.
that would be sick.
Imagine getting like all the up and coming like music stars and shit
That would
there.
be
It would be
That'd
fun.
be sick.
We know nothing about music.
Nothing. Yeah.
You literally have Hitster. You should know more about music than anybody.
What is that?
It's a dope game.
Dude,
Is it?
Brady brought
Oh, it's like trivia.
kind of Brady
Quiz?
brought
Oops, sorry.
Brady
Shut
brought
up.
this game over, and we played 3 minutes of it. I literally bought it on Amazon. It was getting delivered in like 4 minutes. Like I'm like, this will be here by 11 p.m. So
Yeah.
that's good.
That's
like
awesome.
it's such a good game. I love that
Prime
game.
Day or was it
It's
Yeah.
today still.
Prime?
Yesterday and today. Are
Yeah,
both
yesterday
days,
and today.
I have like 4 stuff in my car.
I'm building a gaming PC.
All right, dude. I was just looking at gaming PCs last night.
Literally.
What do you
building
play? What is why?
Sea of Thieves.
one. Not yet. Everybody wants to play Sea of Thieves. I don't know. Dude, I had a gaming PC for a long time, and when Holly and I bought our first house, this is a really sad story for me, and it's a little personal, so I'm gonna try and not
I
get
already know
emotional
where
about
this
it.
is going.
I told Holly the entire time we've been together, I'm like, you can touch anything that I own, right? It's all yours. But not that.
Yeah.
Like, just don't touch it. That's it. That's all
Yeah.
you have to do, right? So
It's like
we're
a drum
moving.
set
We're
from Step
moving
Brothers.
into. It is exactly like the drum set. We're moving into our first house. I have had this in we were living with her parents at the time until we could get into our house. And so I've had this in our closet, like covered up, protected, right? It was like a $3,000 computer. And she decided for some reason that it would be a good idea if she
No.
moved that with her mom
No.
into the truck, right? And not even into like a personal vehicle, into the moving truck.
No.
So I get up there and I walk out, and I walk into the garage. All I see is like my motherboard, my CPU in pieces shattered on the floor.
No.
They dropped it off the back of the moving truck.
No.
And I'm like, but why?
Divorce.
Like, why? Like, you could have just left it. Like, what? Yeah.
How did that conversation go?
We weren't married yet.
Oh.
So it would have been very different than if it would have happened right now, for
Yeah.
sure. I was just like, dude, I'm
And
like,
she knew,
come
like
on.
you told her, like don't.
This is my thing.
Yeah.
Like, just don't touch it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
And then
that just-
she did. Yeah. We still fight about it a little bit right now, to be honest. But, back then I everything was Steam, right? Like I just played
Yes.
everything on Steam. And then I was like, I don't really feel like buying another $3,000 computer. So then I just ended up buying a PlayStation, got an Xbox, whatever.
Could you have like saved, like, was it water lock? Like what?
Dude, it shattered.
Like
everything-
4 of the components shattered. Like,
Oh.
I got it back together with some used parts, and it barely fired
It
up.
wasn't the same.
So I just sold it to some dude for like $250. I'm like, listen, I have no idea if this is gonna run. Like,
Yeah.
here you go. Take what you can.
What games did you play? Counter-Strike?
Counter Strike. I played. Do you know Warcraft 3 at all?
Yeah. I didn't play it, but I
Played Warcraft 3 in high school.
Okay.
And out of Warcraft 3 came a game called Dota.
Yeah.
So I played Dota quite a bit. League of Legends.
Yep.
kind of everything, to be honest. I'm not into a ton of that right now anymore because I haven't had one for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Right. I might start to dabble a little bit more into that again. I don't know. I just figured I'm trying to get better at video and like recording and editing as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I want to have a space down in my office where I can have a nicer camera, a nicer mic set up. And so I'm like, you know what? It's probably worth it. So I just bought all the components literally yesterday.
What do you edit with?
I have not done any of it yet. Yeah. I
Yeah.
currently have an editor that I'm paying to do stuff.
Okay.
But I'm like, I could probably, even if I'm just editing some of my personal videos, it'd be fine too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna dabble into it. I haven't really done a ton. Yeah.
It's fun. It is. The only thing about editing is it's so time consuming. The worst is like I'll take forever to edit something. I'll throw it up on social media and I'll get like 5 likes. I'm like, I just spent 3 hours editing that, and it's just.
Dude,
but it's fun.
All my social media content, but for the most part, is just me in my truck,
Yeah.
just talking to people.
Perfect.
And it gets decent feedback. But I'm like, sometimes having a more professional looking video might be okay too. So especially like education stuff, like I'm gonna try and get my YouTube channel up and running, and so creating some more like 10-minute long full video content will be good.
Yeah.
So
Let me know if you need help with anything.
oh yeah, thanks. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. So I just bought all the components yesterday. So
Did you buy a camera?
yeah. Well, no.
Okay.
Just a webcam.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll work on getting a camera, but I was like, if I get my office set up, I need Zoom and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see how it works.
Awesome.
Go from there.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Is there anything else we're missing?
I bought something.
What'd you buy?
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What'd you buy, Brady?
Tell me you bought a Harley.
I bought a new car.
Wait.
That's not a Harley.
Wait. You might be anti. What did you get?
I think he's gonna hate me for it.
Okay.
Swear to God.
I got a Mustang
Which one?
Hold. Yeah.
Mach E.
Oh,
I know. Yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So you're gonna hate on it,
hey, that sewing machine is gonna sound wonderful going down the fucking freeway.
dude? It doesn't sound like anything. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But Jake hated it at first. If you do any kind of research on it, it's a great car.
Dude, it's a
Time
fast
out.
car.
Yeah.
no, I don't
Not
even care that it's fast. It's like
Oh, stop.
It's
You're
got
hurting my soul.
really, really good reviews, like good reliability.
Weirdly good reviews.
Like,
I don't know because I hated it too. I still don't really like it, but like 9 out of 10 on Car and Driver, 8.2 on Kelly's Blue
The
Book.
fact here's the thing that bugs me the most. The fact that you looked up reviews and are worried about that more than like the fact that it's an insanely fast car with high torque.
dude, it
Like,
is.
like that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Like,
no, okay, so I wanted to make sure, like, I was like, my Jeep's gonna take a shit.
I get that.
Like, it was almost at 200,000 miles. I'm like,
So is it brand new?
2023 has like 4,000 miles.
That's sick. You love it?
Barely used.
I fucking love it, dude.
You love it?
It's, I love driving.
Look at this guy. He just buys a house, buys a car, he does whatever he
Got
wants.
engaged.
Got
Shitting
engaged.
on us.
Dude, I'm getting wrecked by this 22-year-old.
Dude, I have like, so I was like, okay, what am I going to post for social media this week? I still have to post my Real
I have to
Producers
get a
magazine.
car.
Like the
I
magazine.
saw that before you saw that actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did Chad show you?
No, I was in the office with Kayla, and she was like,
So Kayla thought I hadn't seen it, but Chad sent it to me like 2 days before.
oh, never mind, then I haven't.
Yeah.
No,
but,
sorry then.
So I have to post that still. I got to post the car probably.
100%.
And I still have 2 other like offers accepted posts I have to post this week. I'm
I'm so bad about making all that, you guys. Like, I have to
hate
get
it
better at it.
because I feel like I'm just like, oh, look at me. I'm the best thing ever. Like,
Well,
come
dude, like-
comment. And then I get like a bunch of comments, congrats. And I'm like, God, I feel like a fucking
You
idiot.
can't post what I'm about to tell you, so don't post this part. But Amelia at one point
Like
was
delete us out of the video?
yeah.
Just
I gotta
wait.
remember.
Just wait because he'll forget.
I'll forget because I edit it so quick that I don't listen.
Then I'll
to
tell you later.
Yeah.
I'll tell you later.
Sorry,
Because he will forget.
I don't want to
Yeah.
promise you and then
Yeah,
like
in the
totally-
video, it'll be like, hey,
hour-
make sure you delete this.
It's
hour
happened, dude.
20.
It's happened.
The,
Maddie will be like, he didn't delete that part. I'm like,
Yeah.
shit.
luckily,
Yeah.
it hasn't been like terrible stuff, but like
It would have been,
Yeah.
yeah. It would. It's not terrible, but I don't need to put that
Yeah.
out there for sure. But,
Anyway,
Um,
so I got the new car. I love it. It's electric, which is a little weird.
did you have a charger put in?
So I'm working on that. So I talked to Connexus. They gave me like a port for free.
Yeah.
So I need like some port from them. So I
well,
got.
so you have to have it run from the city.
Yep.
So is it 60? I'm assuming it's 60 volt or 60 amps. Excuse me. I'm assuming.
I
so
don't know.
So
It's
you
like
have to go.
32 amp, I want to say.
So you have to go look at make sure you look at the manufacturer. So like go and look up the
It's 32 amp from Ford Mustang or whatever.
okay because the new Fords are 60. So just double check.
Because I was looking at the Lightning too, like the F-150.
F-150 Lightning, yeah.
Yeah.
It's sick.
But
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It's
Mach-E,
expensive for sure.
I got a pretty good deal on it. It still ain't cheap.
Those F-150 Lightnings I think I've heard of having problems too.
But I got it for under $50K.
Love that. It's cheaper than a Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like it better than the Tesla.
Cheaper than the cheap.
Good.
Yeah.
The good
Good
Teslas.
Teslas,
Yeah. But yeah, no, and then there's a $500 rebate. So
to buy
like,
an electric car.
no, for them to put in the charger. They're like, yeah, if you give me the paid invoice and you're basically a copy of the title of the car you bought, we'll give you $500.
Sick.
So
How much
like,
does it cost to put in?
it's not going to be $500.
Oh, nice.
Because my breaker's in my garage. So I already texted one of my electrician buddies, but he can't come out till next weekend, which kind of blows.
Yeah. Have you had to charge it yet at a?
No, I haven't. I actually might do it today.
Okay.
So yeah, I wonder how. Yeah, so if it's 32 amps, you're gonna have to have that run from. As long as your box can hold it, right? Do you have 100 amps going to the house or 200?
200, and
Yeah,
I
so
have
you're
like
fine then.
so many.
Yeah. Especially your house, because like you don't have a
Brand new.
basement or anything.
Yeah, it's one level. Like
Yeah, and then then you're fine. The most expensive part is running the actual amperage, like the connection from the power box.
yeah,
The adapter's cheap.
yeah, and it's like I can plug it into like a wall outlet right now, but it's like 2-3 miles an hour it adds. So it's
Oh.
like
Yeah, don't do that.
I spend it.
and your
Charging.
electric bill would be insane.
Yeah.
It's gonna go up about $20 a
If
month.
you buy a regular amp, it will, or like the amp it's supposed to have. But if you just plug it into the wall, dude, it would go up like crazy.
Brutal.
It's going to because I've
Yeah.
been using it the last 2 nights.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, I got a 240 volt. I was like, oh, I'll go charge it. I was gonna go over there last night, play pool, hang out. He's got a 250. So I'm like, it doesn't
It doesn't work.
It doesn't fit.
Oh.
I didn't know there was a 250.
It's for welding because it's in his pull shed.
I've always seen it 240. I've never seen 250. That's crazy. I
can't
wonder what that
believe-
looks like. You should send me a picture next time you have it.
Anything?
Thanks for that.
Let's ask you a question.
Yeah, thanks for the description of that. Like I love that. That was great.
Some eyes, a little nose, and then like a weird mouth. Does that help?
Sick.
I
Yeah.
know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that makes total sense to me. I can see it.
Dylan, we're gonna get deep here.
Let's go.
It's the question we ask every single guest that walks on.
You want to
Oh
ask
my
it?
gosh.
I do.
Ah.
When you pass away,
Don't freeze up.
hold on.
That's so sad.
When you pass away, how do you want to be remembered?
It's a good question. I think about that a lot, actually. 'Cause I'm a Harley guy, right? And so, like, any day could be your last, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the thrill of it. I think the biggest thing is that I want to be remembered for having a good time, like being the party guy and just kind of laughing all the time and being that jolly guy. But I also want my word to mean something. Like if I tell you something, I want that to like be gospel to people. And I'm super true to that. So that's probably what I want to, like I want to be the happy guy, but the guy you can rely on for anything.
Mhm.
That's what I want people to remember.
Good vibes and what is it? Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love that. I think this is the first time we've had a pretty new answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody else is like,
A good person, a good
Yeah.
dad, a good husband.
yeah, which
No,
are
'cause
also good.
That's
I
like-
make bad choices all the time. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's perfect, right? I'm a very real person, so like, yeah, I don't know. There's days I drink too much, and there's days I work too much, and I can't be perfect. But as long as that's coming from a genuine place, and that that's all well intended, then I guess that's what I care about more.
Yeah,
Boom.
I love it. That's another episode.
It is. Where can they find you?
On nowhere, probably just call me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, those kinds of things. I'm starting to try and have a TikTok. I have not posted anything
I
yet.
hate TikTok.
I do too,
Yeah.
but it's easy content to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Like, if you're gonna create a reel, you might as well just post it on TikTok.
For sure. It's the same.
But
Yeah.
no, Facebook and Instagram is for the most part where I'm at.
Dylan Shaw.
Dylan or I don't even know to be honest. Is it Shaw? Dylan Shaw Realtor MN? I think is my Instagram handle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Facebook's just Dylan Shaw.
I think so. Yeah,
Got it.
it should be easy.
Cool. Dylan, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me,
It
guys.
was a
Yeah,
good
of course.
episode. Like, comment, subscribe.